Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Burning River Podcast. I'm Jake Scarborough, joined by my co-host, as always, Sal Zavala,
Hi.
Fidel Fabian,
What's up?
and Matthew Stotts.
Yo.
Oh, my camera is doing the thing again, so we're gonna be dealing with this for a while. That's gonna be fun. Well, I try to figure out that issue, I guess. First thing to talk about, obviously, we just had the Fontana weekend, the Xfinity race. Yeah, having the opportunity to sponsor Jeb Burton. But well, that's not really the topic right now. The topic is the Xfinity race review as a whole got postponed from Saturday to Sunday night, meaning Auto Club Speedway ended with, well, a night race, something it should have had for a while with NASCAR that it hasn't had in years. So, nevertheless, let's kick off with the review. Sal?
Pretty good race. I mean, typical Fontana race. I'm not gonna lie, I only caught the last 40, 50 or so laps. But just from going back, seeing the highlights of what I did miss, and then even there, the stretch to the end was, I mean, pretty entertaining. What you could want in a race, in my opinion, at least. Um, Coming down, basically whole team effort, seeing who can come on and off pit road the best during that last cycle, green flag stops. And yeah, I love Fontana.
Fair enough.
Uh, it was a bit odd. After watching the Cup race, we go immediately to Xfinity race. I feel we haven't seen something like that since like the early 2000s, maybe something like that. But overall, race was great. Coverage was somehow better than the Cup race, and yeah, Cole Custer absolutely blundered the win by cutting a tire in turn one. But overall, great race. Surprising save by Sheldon Creed in the backstretch. And yeah, I give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Okay. Before I before I mess up here, are we talking about the entire Auto Club weekend?
We're
Weekend?
talking about Xfinity right now.
Oh, Xfinity, man, that was a great race to me, man.
Biased.
And it was awesome, bro. I mean, we had a great. Personally, it was good. I What sucked to me most was just how much debris was just all over the track with the overheating becoming an issue for a couple of drivers, and obviously the leader mainly. If you were leading the race, you were most likely going to have debris on your grill. I think we saw it with Sammy Smith. Awesome move, by the way, after he got that thing cleaned off. Had a really fast car. Broadcast was great. I think Blaney and Logano did a really good job. And I think it was pretty entertaining for what we probably usually get for some Auto Club races. Xfinity seems to be very nice usually, but especially at night, I loved it. It was great.
Mhm. Well, it's kind of hard for me to go off anything because I wasn't doing the Bob Pockris special, which is where he's running around pit road with headphones on, listening to the race. Um, I was mostly standing around pit road watching the scoring pylon. So I really had no clue what was going on for both races. But from what I got to see just like in the tri-oval and then like on the screens and kind of just hearing teams talk about it, obviously it looked like it was a good race. You saw John Hunter Nemechek, up front. You saw Toyota teammates going at it, Joe Gibbs teammates at that, Sam Mayer coming in towards the end. But obviously the big thing about it was, JHN came up short last week at Daytona and then finally got this one. So maybe that's his full head of steam going towards the championship hunt. But from what I got to see and hear about it, it looked like a good race, sounded like a good race, and it's sad that that's the last time we're going to see about that, at least at the 2 mile, but according to others, which we'll get into soon, sounds like that could be the last time we visit Auto Club. But nevertheless, the Cup race, which happened earlier Sunday, we saw a lot of things happen. A lot of unexpected things, and an appearance from a cat, a disappearance from a cat, and a lot of other weird things. So, nevertheless, let's kick off with that.
The Cup race again, I was good. Um, only thing that really like complain about, and I really try not to be one to complain about like broadcast or coverage or anything like that. But I mean, there were instances. First off, we didn't even see the AJ Allmendinger spin live. They cut to it in a they cut to a replay of it, and as they were cutting the replay, you just hear Boyer say, "Oh, caution," and then he also calls him hitting the wall like 2 seconds maybe before he actually hit it. So I mean, just little things like that I could see why people get annoyed by it. Um, Other than that, I mean, when Kyle got the first speeding penalty, I'm pretty sure a bunch of people thought race over because he was gonna come back and win. He was absolutely flying. Suarez was able to also come back from a speeding penalty P4. That was fun to watch. And one that I feel isn't getting enough credit as far as like charging through the field like that is Chase Briscoe, because who knows what happened to him those first like 2 stages, and then all of a sudden able to come back for a top 15, which I mean, SHR you expect more like top 10s contending for wins maybe, but I feel like that's a really good effort by them. Race overall, so good to watch. Does stink that this is the last race, at least on that 2 mile track. I feel a bunch of people have been very vocal that last week about wanting it to stay. And that one it did, but I guess because of the sunlight more, like I said, I only caught like the last 40 laps of that Xfinity race. But during the day, at least, it was very annoying to see the debris. When I think it was AJ spun down there, it literally looked like it was covered in sand, and that just was ridiculous. But overall, super fun to watch, and hope this good racing can stick for like the rest of the year.
Yeah, this past cup race was pretty good, in my opinion, at least, since I am a Kyle Busch fan, and this is the first paved win for him since 2021 at Pocono. A day after I left the racetrack, seeing Larson rim ride the wall, but that's a different story. Uh, Coverage, specifically NASCAR on Fox, has been abysmal since 2016, since Jeff Gordon joined the commentary booth and then left exactly 5 years later. Just everything about it when it comes from pre-race, where I like Michael Waltrip, but he is a bit cringy at times. Even I think during the pre-race for the 500, he tried to sing along with AJ, but AJ just turned him down. Can we talk about how good the race was without speaking about how bad Fox was? Mike Joy, beautiful commentator. I feel like these last couple years, he just hasn't put in enough emotion into the race as he was in the past. Clint Boyer, yeah, he's a bit goofy, a bit silly, but sometimes he can do somewhat of a good job putting in some effort or some inspiration into the commentary. But other times he just a really bad punching bag. Tony Stewart, he's pretty good in the booth when he wants to be. Other times he's very silent, especially with the spin with AJ Allmendinger. There was less emotion in that than a funeral. It was abysmal. Other than that, cup race, there was obviously a lot of passing throughout the field, great battles for the lead. Joey Logano being Joey Logano, just throwing in flyers into the corners. And yeah, kind of sucks for Rosh saying he did beautiful out there, won both stages, but it's not the person who leads all the laps. It's the person that leads the last lap that wins the race.
Okay, well, you're smoking. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about the podcast. Just didn't do their job, unfortunately, on both sides, commentary and Fox in general, with providing views of things happening, and live time and all that. So they had their ups and downs, and my gosh, did they have a down day. Also another person who had a down day, Tyler Reddick. I tell you, man, he looks hot. He unfortunate luck, very unfortunate luck. But taking a little look over here, my man is last in points. He's dead last. I mean, man, Ty Dillon and Jimmy Johnson. I mean, this is
well, Ty
very
Dillon's full
unfortunate.
time at least.
Well, yes. I mean, he's getting outran by a what? He's getting outran by a 7-time champion of our sport who made his return for one race, and he's down by 6. I mean, unfortunate for Tyler Reddick, but I thought I brought that up. And also, the race in general was a very good race in my opinion. I thought it was very cool. Kyle Busch doing his thing, coming back from a speeding penalty. Suarez doing the same. Trackhouse is looking like probably the team to beat, honestly, in my opinion, this year, with them and RCR, with the help of, what's his name, Kyle. I think it also helps Austin a little bit as a competitor to try and amp it up a bit. So I think that's good. And we talked about Briscoe. Yeah, he had, I don't know what the hell was going on with him in the first 2 stages. He somehow got 20th. That's cool for him. Trying to think what else happened in this race that didn't make me go to sleep for a minute. We had that restart wreck. That was interesting. Because of that new rule or whatever they put in place, or where they like extended, that's going to be catchy. I think that's going to cause some problems, but
It already did.
it was good to see Kyle win. Pretty fucking weird. I'm sorry. Pretty weird one. Pretty weird he won with Richard Childress, but I mean, let alone very happy for him. I think it's very big for him and also the team. So love the race. Can't be any more happier for the winner, surprisingly, as much as I hate to say it.
I mean, I'd have to agree with you on that. I've never been a Kyle Busch fan. Then obviously when he was like leaving JGR and we were kind of like, oh, is he about to go to Colleague? Kind of had to face the facts that I may have to start liking the guy. Got an earful from a certain somebody in this call about that. But no, it is cool to see Kyle win with RCR. Obviously, that was a big slap in the face to Joe Gibbs and Toyota, and arguably anyone that's been a part of the first, 2/3 of his career. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on. You mentioned the big restart crash with the restart zone where it's extended. Not good. I don't know why they did that. Don't know why they did that. Maybe Joe Logano needs to figure out how to restart. Also, he needs to figure out how to block cars. That's a big thing. Also, not going to mention the fact that I single-handedly jinxed Ross Chastain on our Twitter account. But no, aside from that, as you guys mentioned, there was, it was a race. It was, NASCAR, the Cup teams last time being there. It ended up being better than last year's, in my opinion. It's kind of sad that the next gen did kind of save that track, and they didn't even give it really a chance to see if this was worth keeping. They announced, obviously, this weekend that the track was sold, or not the track, but like a lot of the land it sits on was sold, so we'll get into that in a minute. Also, you gotta feel bad for AJ Allmendinger, right? I'm not sure if you guys knew this or not, but his cat, Mr. Tickles, passed away during the week. I think the Monday following the 500. That's not ideal when you go into the Cup race. This is your home race, whatever. You go into it, and then you find out later on in the race that a cat gets hit on the track. And that's a terrible thing. Now, the fact that NASCAR didn't even call a caution for said cat. Does anyone want to explain that? Why does NASCAR throw a caution for someone tapping a wall? But, a cat's running around the racetrack and ends up getting hit by one of the cars.
Who hit it?
Judging by the TV angles, it looks like Blaney hit it. And that's
Yeah.
part of why he started falling through the back. But
Poor guy. Blaney
that
could have done.
what did you just say?
I said Blaney could have done better.
Poor guy.
Moving on. As I mentioned, they announced, they sold a lot of the land that the track sits on. With that being said, the only people I really heard this entire weekend saying that, oh yeah, we're going to come back in 2 years for the short track, were head NASCAR officials and the head representatives of the track itself. When they interviewed Kyle Busch after the race, he mentioned that it was their last time going to Auto Club. Multiple other drivers and owners and crew members were saying it was their last time there in general. And a rumor going on the past month has been NASCAR's going to drop out of the LA market completely, meaning they're going to move the Clash, they're going to get rid of Fontana completely, like this is done, we're never going back down there. So with that being said, I think it's a terrible decision. I don't even think we should have gotten the short track. I think we should have just kept this. But in your guys' opinion, what do you think about this? If it is real?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go back for the um short track. Rather it's 1 year, 2, or however long they want to try this. They're gonna go back. Don't I didn't read too much into it because when this tweet was put out, I was at work, I think, probably. I was at work, so there was, I think Adam Stern put out a tweet saying, like, we're putting out the information of who bought this land, and Denny Hamlin had said something of, if I'm to quote him, he said, if I'm reading this correctly, that means that the new buyers uh have to take care of the short track. I didn't get a chance to like look into the replies or anything, but I mean, if that's the case, I don't see them just abandoning. Yeah, I said that right. Just leaving the market in general. I do think they're going to come back. I don't think they'll go back for the Clash. That's probably time to move. But as far as going to at least Fontana, that LA market, they will be back in 2020, what, 5?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, I feel like NASCAR is going to go back. NASCAR is a business, and $550 million just for selling about what 80 acres. That's a pretty good deal for them. So they're gonna use that money for at least something. Uh, for Auto Club going to a short track, I can't really blame them because the track's condition as of right now, it's very worn down. Every time a caution came out, there was no choice of taking 2 tires or no tire. You had to take 4, or you're just gonna drop back immediately on the restart. So they were gonna have to go through a repave, and mile and a half's history with repaves, it's not good.
Gonna be honest. I'm not a big person into whatever they talk about, landscaping, selling property. I mean, I'm past whatever the heck they talk about. That's beyond my knowledge. I'm more at the level of just getting out of high school, so I don't keep up with this crap. If it is true, then NASCAR's taking a big loss, respectfully. I mean, LA's got first of all, LA is LA. That's a big area, just in general. So for you to throw everything away you got in LA, that's like you're sacrificing a lot of viewership right there. I mean, yeah, people, all country southern people, so stuff like that, watch these things, man. But like we got some people on the West Coast to watch. I mean, we got that's where all the stars are. That's where all the big names are. That's where we probably get publicity from sometimes too. We get it from the LA. We get it from the people over there. Um, I, I pray to my soul it's not true. But if it is true, then whoop de doo. I mean, what can we do? I mean, that's just another error in NASCAR's thing that uh, they've been probably known for doing in the past. So I mean, whatever. So be it.
Fair enough. Well, something I'd like to touch on real quick, while we get the chance. Open wheel comes back this weekend. We get F1, IndyCar both back. IndyCar at St. Petersburg, then F1 in Bahrain. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and kick off with IndyCar predictions on who's going to win this weekend. Sal, you go.
Oh yeah. I'm super hyped for this, man. Last year I watched on and off. This year I feel like I actually get to watch the whole season. And I'm gonna go with Scott Dixon just because I don't know why.
Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something else.
Yeah, I know what you were
Yeah,
expecting, and
you
don't
know
worry,
I was expecting that.
that time will come.
That okay. Fabian?
I'm just gonna go on a limb and say willpower. No data, no I don't even remember who won at St. Petersburg last season, but I'm just gonna say yeah, just give me a Team Penske W this weekend.
Fair enough.
You know, I think you're right, bro. It's gonna be a Team Penske W, bro, but it's gonna be Joseph Newgarden, bro. I mean, his hair just says it all. That
Okay.
type of hair to him.
Okay. I'll give that to you. I'll give that's some good picks. And then there's me. We're gonna get not get off my screen. I'm tired of you. Okay. We're gonna get first time winner Roman Grosjean.
Oh hell no.
Yes, Andretti's gonna come out of the gates this year. Realize Penske and Ganassi have shared the last 10 years worth of championships. Andretti's coming back. It's been 11 years. That 28 cars won it 11 years ago.
That's 11
Grosjean.
years, damn.
I don't care. Grosjean's winning. And it's probably his last year in IndyCar anyway, according to a bunch of stuff. But anyways, Grosjean's my pick. But speaking of the F1 driver, moving on to F1 predictions, Sal, your go.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go Max just cause why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna be slightly different to say Charles Leclerc.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go. I've got my faith in Jorge Russell. That's the man.
Lewis Hamilton. Next question. And I'm not even a Lewis Hamilton fan. I just think that it's been long enough that he needs another win.
2 minutes yet?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Ooh, we must be on.
Okay. We got all 3 NASCAR series running this weekend at Vegas. We know Kyle Busch is doing the sweep, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it before any of you can. Kyle Busch is getting the sweep this weekend. Sal? At least, yeah, go across all 3.
Well, dang. I want to be different. I don't want to just pick the same people, but I thought he would get the sweep too. All right. Give me Sam Mayer and Xfinity. I skipped trucks. Yeah, I sure did. Give me Stort Friesen and trucks. Yeah, that's right. I see you, Jake. Yeah. And then for Cup, you know what? Let's go ahead and roll with my Mexican here. We're going with Daniel Suarez for Cup.
Okay, next question. Fabian.
Yeah, you see my title or my name on the screen. I'm just gonna go. I can't speak. I'm gonna go ahead and say a complete sweep. just like Bristol back in 2017.
Okay.
Well, while you two enjoy your sloppy toppy,
Oh, there goes the camera.
what I'm gonna pick here is only one guy that I know, one man that can beat this man in trucks, and it's John Hunter Nemechek. I'm taking John Hunter to win the truck race. I'm taking John Hunter to beat him as well in the Xfinity race, and then for the Cup race, you know, man, I've got this feeling, bro, that is gonna be a Chase Briscoe W Sunday.
This dude.
He showed some promise. He showed promise in that playoff race. I've got faith in him. He showed promise in that playoff race. If he can put a full race together, he can be up there. Y'all go give y'all sloppy toppy to Kyle. Ain't no Kyle prediction coming from me. No Kyle.
Hey, you can say that all you want. Look at what I've changed Fabian's name to.
He is a. Boy, don't get the Flintstone.
Well, with that being said, I think that covers everything. Unless, yeah, no, that covers everything. So with that being said,
I was wondering, can we hold a moment of silence for the cats that we lost these past 14 days?
only for AJ's.
What the?
14 seconds for 14 days.
I don't know if that's all.
So, then what's the point of the moment of silence
Way
if
to
you're going
mess
to do
it
that?
up. Way to mess it up.
I think 14 seconds was too long.
That was.
What do you want to do? 14 milliseconds?
I mean, 7 seconds was fine.
Oh, there's the camera. Okay, okay. With that being said, I think before Stotts ends up getting his neck ringed. Oh, there goes the camera again. Okay, you know what? We're just going to turn that off for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I think that's everything we have to talk about. Am I wrong or right?
I think you hit them all, bro. I think you hit them
Yeah,
all.
you're right.
All right. So, with that being said, we'll see you guys next week with a little run. Excuse me?
Okay, you can cut it. We're good for
Okay, all right. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See ya.